got the balls to beat me. Real talk!
You're now listening to Divas 101, counting down the 101 moments that rocked, shocked, and made WWE Women's Wrestling herstory. This week's episode, Moment 99. This is Hope. Okay, welcome back, perverts and dad bod demigod worshippers alike. It is me, it is Tommy Purr, it is the missing Bella triplet, and with me as always is...
I am your dad bod demigod, and I don't know if you're my followers. No, you're my babies, because I let you all burst through my placenta. If you don't know me, I am the guy that everyone's eyes get big when I walk into a Dunkin' Donuts. My name's Joey Mayberry.
I'm going to change mine. I'm the fifth glass of wine that Joey's had in the last hour. Tommy Purr.
I've not had any wine today. Today's been lovely.
Lovely. Lovely is a good way to describe our podcast. This is Divas 101, where we count down 101 moments that rocked, shocked, and made WWE Women's Wrestling herstory.
We stand some herstory over here.
We love herstory. We're professors of our craft. So we are looking at...
I actually have probably studied more women's wrestling than I did any sort of theater, so my degree should be in women's wrestling.
Could you imagine in, I don't know, like thousands of years when we're all gone? And hopefully, like, it doesn't happen during our time. But if it were to happen during our time, it's possible. Thousands of years from now, they uncover both of our bedrooms. And it's just like, dusted over Divas figures, and they're just like, these must have been, symbols from a previous world.
I believe they call this relic a 1999 Tory.
Oh, I know who this is. This is Eva Marie.
Ew.
We're not here to talk about Tori Wilson today, and we're not here to talk about Eva Marie. We're here to talk about, this is episode 3, and this is our moment 99. So we've broken past 100. We're now in double digits and not triple digits. Exciting.
So much excitement. I love less digits.
We are taking a look at 2 matches that made herstory when they became the first matches of their kind to take place in the Middle East. And of course, we are talking about Alexa Bliss defending the Raw Women's Championship against Sasha Banks in Abu Dhabi. And we are taking a look at Crown Jewel 2019 when Lacey Evans challenged Natalya Neidhart. So first off, we're going to start with Alexa versus Sasha Banks. And
I tell you a little thing that kind of plays off of both of these matches with me that just drives me crazy.
Of course.
And what drives me crazy is not the fact that it was them saying that it was historical and that it was a very, very prominent moment, because it was. Mm-hmm. It was the fact that they took it and WWE was like, we made this historical moment. We did this. Look at this. Look at what we did. Oh my God, we made history. History was made last week. We did the history. We did the history thing so hard. We decided to be historical, you guys. And honestly, I could just do that for this entire half an hour slot, and that would be how WWE marketed these 2 matches, because good Lord, they were just stroking off for themselves as they marketed it. That's it. It's like, no lie. This is monumental. It's huge that we finally had women in both of these events and performing in front of these crowds for the first time. It's just like, y'all sound like those self-righteous Baptists that I went to church with when I was a teenager that was just like, you know what I did this weekend? I prayed. Like, no, girl, we get it. You did it, okay? Just calm down. Slow your roll.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is now Joey 101, where we count down 101 facts about Joey. The bitch came loaded tonight to talk. Last 2 episodes, it took Joey a second to just rev up that motor, but tonight he's coming in hot. I love it.
A bottle and a half of wine. That's what happened.
And again, for anyone listening out there, please don't be triggered. Please don't be upset. The match is both matches are monumental, so we're not dogging that at all, or the women involved. But
I want to make that very clear. Like both of these matches, phenomenal. All four of these women, phenomenal. It's just WWE. It's like when I hear Stephanie McMahon say women's evolution, and she's like, the women's evolution. There's a revolution happening in sports. And I'm just like, ma'am, we know this is as false as Donald Trump speaking. Like, come on. Like, legitimately, come on.
She's coming in hot. Now she's getting political. Now she's going after Stephanie. Woo! Oh my God. And I know Chris, Jake, DS, anyone who's a women's wrestling fan is probably like, ooh, Joey, no, don't talk about the Pope like that.
Wait, who is the Pope?
Oh, Stephanie would be the Pope of wrestling, you know.
I'm just pulling a Spice World. I mean, come on. Is the Pope a Catholic?
I'm so ashamed I didn't catch that. Oh my God. Which, by the way, I'm in a play called The Explorers Club. I just had rehearsal last night, first read through, and literally like the only reference I have just keep in my head like, oh, you got to be the Spice Girls. Just like act like you're in Spice World, because I play a British scientist. So I'm like, it's very Monty Python too. So it works to pretend to be, you know, Jiri and Mel B a little bit, you know, like a splice between the two.
So
you know?
are you wearing the little Gucci dress? The little Gucci dress or the little Gucci dress?
Exactly. Yes, to all of that. Oh God, we are so off topic. Moment 99. Both matches are historic. Done. Let's move on. No, I'm kidding. We did have this because honestly, I wasn't able to find like the full match of Alexa versus Sasha. Were you?
I was. I found it via one of those lovely YouTube links where it's like half of the screen is just some sort of design that features the Bella twins and Paige, and then you have Alexa and Sasha in the corner, and you're just like, I kind of see it. I kind of see this match. But I actually did get to watch this one live because I was at home that day, so it was kind of cool. So I remember watching it and thinking, this is a solid little match. It was very cool.
This match honestly could have just been an arm wrestling match between the Cat and Terry and would still be significant for having two women compete. You know what I'm saying? In the Middle East, in Abu Dhabi. And I just love saying Abu Dhabi. And I only heard about Abu Dhabi thanks to Sex and the City Part 2. So yay, geography.
We have an hour to pack and get the fuck out of Abu Dhabi. New Middle East, my ass. Fucking Paula Abdul. Where is she when you need him?
What just gets me about this match was I remember just looking at it and going, this is so significant and so inspiring to all of these women, especially in that area, who are not used to seeing women do this. But the only thing I can think of is Stephanie McMahon afterwards going, the chant was, this is hope.
I saw that clip too, and I was like, if I don't bring it up, I know Joey will, so I'll just wait. I like it's okay. I unfortunately didn't get to watch the full match. I couldn't find the full match. I think I just have an aversion to anything that has that Bella Twins page half screen logo. Like I'm really good at identifying which videos are like that. I'm like, I can't, my eyes hurt. Or when they speed it up really fast on YouTube to avoid copyright claim and they go, or they like change the volume. It's all weird.
Or they just clip out random parts of the match. So it goes from rest hold to superplex really quick.
How did Kelly get into that position so quickly? What's going on? And you're like, and sometimes when you just skip ahead a little bit, because you're like, oh, okay, this is, you and I both wrestle. This is the build of the match. I want to get to the action. Let's get to the meat of this match. And then it's like, oh, did I go too far? Wow, they really just went spot monkey to spot monkey, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about like this match and the other matches, yes, it was historical. Yes, it made history. And yes, it's really, really important for both of these matches to have happened. The thing that just drives me crazy about it is not only how WWE marketed themselves, but also the fact that it was on these pay-per-views that people just didn't watch. Because like,
we didn't need. or want, you know, like.
Yeah, it was really like not well received in the States. Like everyone was very much like, yeah, they made history, but God, we're so sick of WWE playing up to these like, rich people in the Middle East. And that was kind of what the fallout seemed to be on social media. So it really did underplay the fact that, hey, this is a monumental step forward for at least equality in sport in these areas. So it was nice to see that, but just to kind of watch the fallout on Twitter was like, ew, people are kind of gross.
And that's also what we're here to talk about too. Like, it's not just the moments, guys. It's just like, I love how you put it last week, Joey, with the skin to win, with the evening gown match. When you're like, we're looking at the legacy and the consequences. You're like, yes, the consequences of this match. And I'm like, wow, that took a dark fucking turn, like real quick. But yeah, like we're looking at the legacy and the significance and the ripple effect of these matches. What could have been, what should have been, what would have been, et cetera, et cetera.
Can I challenge you?
Oh God.
What was the ripple effect of these matches?
Okay, so you think about it like this. You have Alexa versus Sasha, which I remember at that time, the rumors going around how much there was heat between them in real life. Yeah. And watching the straight to the point or whatever it was with Corey Graves when he's interviewing both of them, you can tell like Alexa's just like being like really like trying to get like Sasha involved in the conversation, and she's mentioning a lot of we and this and oh my goodness, there you go, girl. Basically with Alexa and Sasha, it was like they already had like this. It was, I'm gonna say rumored because we don't know for sure. Maybe they're just really good at playing up their character, but I got really uncomfortable watching them being interviewed because it felt really, especially from Sasha, like there was some like sort of like, I don't like this woman, but this is a big moment, so let's just. I don't know if that's just her vibe that she gives. I like both of them, but I'm just like.
I like both of them, but still, like, what was the after effect of these matches?
So the after effect of these, I mean, Abu Dhabi. Come on, that was just the evolution of where we were heading. You know, that was like the frontier before headlining WrestleMania, before the first all women's Royal Rumble. That was a natural progression. It was eventually going to happen. Right. So that's amazing. The ripple effect of Lacey Evans versus Natalya at Crown Jewel. You don't know what the ripple effect is of that?
No.
Okay, so you know why we got the Evolution pay-per-view was because no women were allowed on the last Middle Eastern pay-per-view. So to shut us down, they gave us Evolution, right? Which I still think is one of the best pay-per-views they put on. And now that, look, like the women can now come on the Middle Eastern tours. Look, they're the first match to the first women's match in Saudi Arabia history. Why do you need an all-women's pay-per-view now? We don't need that. That would be more effect.
Aside the fact that neither of these things correlate, period. Good job, Vince McMahon. Let's talk about how this didn't really do anything for any of the superstars involved in either match, because you already had this Alexa Sasha feud. It didn't progress into a bigger Alexa Sasha feud. It just kind of happened. And then Lacey and Natalya didn't have any sort of beef with each other, period. They just kind of chose two women at random, I guess, to make this. That's the thing, is like when you look at the Middle East pay-per-views in general, like even the men's matches, it doesn't matter storyline wise. It's just matches happening for the sake of matches. So I don't see these things being bigger than, they're the first. Like I don't see anything coming of it other than cool, they did it first.
It was like when your local indie promotion goes and does like a show at like a food festival or a carnival, it's like outside of the universe of the booking of your independent promotion. It's like, oh, this doesn't count because it's a birthday party. Oh, no storylines here because this is a charity thing. I honestly believe, and I know that sounds shady, just coming off of Big Valley's Loud and Proud. But Big Valley's Loud and Proud was a fundraising event for the LGBT community center here in Vegas. Joey and I wrestled at it, and it was like that's what I liked about the booking of that was, yes, it was a charity event, but Ricky Tenacious booked that show with the same storylines that we were picking up from pre-COVID and during COVID. So it was still like if you're a fan, you still have to come to the show. Like it makes it must see because it's like, oh damn, like Jay Vidal and Deshade, they're finishing their feud, like this is it. It's other wrestlers that are there. They're still continuing the progression of their characters and their feuds. And that's what bothers me about a lot of people just kind of like blowing off. No one's going to come to the charity show if you yourself are like, and storylines don't matter. This has no consequence. And I agree with
this felt like.
Crown Jewel with Natalya and Lacey Evans happened on October 31st, 2019. Right. So this is just 2 months before the whole world went in the toilet with COVID. So, and even then, we didn't really begin the lockdown until March. So, you know what? I take that back. No, they could have really started something, but
yeah,
I will say
there was no feud between any of these women, really, to be honest. Like, Alexa and Sasha had more of a fuel to the fire than Lacey and Natalya did. Lacey and Natalya, I was like, these are the first two women to wrestle in the... What?
Yeah.
What?
It was I feel like it was certainly a choice because to have the Canadian woman and then have the former Marine U.S. woman wrestle in Saudi Arabia. It was definitely a choice.
I mean, I definitely will say that Natty deserved it. Natty deserved a big first. She really did.
And I honestly think, and no shade to Miss Neidhart, I honestly think that's why she got the match. Like, she does need a big moment, for being in the company so long. Like, it's a shame that when you think of big moments, it's like, she's had good moments, but nothing like on the level of like a Becky or a Sasha or a Chyna, and it's like,
right.
And I'm all for it. Like, she busts her ass. Like, I'm not the biggest Natalya fan, but I appreciate her wrestling skill when she brings to the table. And this match was actually, I mean, it was a slow start, but it was like classic hold for hold with some good transitions and reversals. And then it picked up and it kind of demonstrated a lot of Natalya's like psychology. And really, like, Lacey, I think, really worked really well in the match. She had some really good counters. And I really enjoyed that match. When also, I gotta commend all four women for wearing a full bodysuit. Like, I purposely wear shorts or high cut trunks because I just can't. I need my skin needs to breathe somewhere. I'm fine with my stomach, but I have a birthmark that I don't like. I basically look like an Asian Dusty Rhodes. Just call me Rusty Rhodes or whatever.
Oh. No.
No, we're good. We're good. The Japanese nightmare, I don't know. So, anywho, I saw that look, like, there's parody somewhere in there.
It's in there. I don't know if I want to fish it out, but it's in there.
We'll talk off camera. Anywho.
Well, here's the thing. To wrap up my opinions on this again, this monumental, great, history making, but it was just WWE pulling PR stunts. That was all it was. This is hope. That's all it was. That's all it was.
I will say that the crowd did react really positively to the girls, which was great because I could imagine the apprehension. It's kind of like when we go to do a show, like, oh God, how progressive are these people? Like, are they gonna boo the shit out of me because I'm a gay worker? I can only imagine being a woman, and having to go out there into a country that's not as progressive with their thinking of females and being like, are they going to riot? Are they going to spit on me? Are they going to it's terrifying. And so gotta give it up to all 4 women. And who knows who they inspired. Like, you know, the next Sasha or Becky could be sitting in that audience in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia and be inspired, you know?
Oh, 100%. I think that's really the legacy that this leaves, is just inspiration for the future. But I don't think it is going to leave that lasting of a legacy in WWE. I don't think they paid enough attention to it that they should have.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Even though I was not able to watch the full match itself, what were your thoughts on the booking of the match itself? Like the action in the ring? Was it like a standard, like a Raw women's match, or was it like the caliber of a Big 4 pay-per-view match?
I don't think Big 4 pay-per-view for either, but the time that was given to both of these matches was able to really let the women showcase what they can do when they're told, hey, just go out there and wrestle. You don't have a storyline. You don't have to do any of these gimmicks that we normally put into women's wrestling. You know, they always have like these variables in women's wrestling. There's always something on the outside or some sort of weird storyline they have to play up. No, they just put the women in the ring and said wrestle, which is really nice.
Which is probably why Lacey and Natalya thrived, because I think that was one of Lacey's best matches too.
Oh, hands down. Like, no lie. Lacey Evans looked phenomenal in Crown Jewel.
Yeah. And for me to be able to like look through those awful shirts and that awful gear and really appreciate their ring work speaks volumes to like, look, we are not ignorant. We know Lacey's history, and her insulting Effie, you know, and her stance on the gays. It may have changed in the last few years. Who knows? I believe people should be given the shot to make amends or be educated and have a different opinion now. That's more positive. But I can still also appreciate someone's ring work, and that the match, I was like, this shows that she can work, you know? And
she can work. I don't think she's as problematic as she once was. I think that being in a spotlight does teach you a little bit to keep your mouth shut. I will say that.
Yeah. And also, the locker room nowadays, you have so many women who are now openly lesbian or bisexual or pansexual in WWE. That's like, you know, you got to evolve with the times, girl, you know? And who knows, like, and you grew up in the South too. Like, it's kind of like you're not around other gay people, and you don't know other gay people, so you're not willfully ignorant. You're just ignorant, which is, you know, it's people learn and people get better. So that's all I can hope for.
That's all I can hope for. But
let's look at the
all you can hope for, and this is hope.
And bringing it back to that, yeah, this is hope. But yeah, I mean, hello, look at Saudi Arabia and look at Abu Dhabi. Never thought we would get to see a women's championship match in the UAE. UAE? Yeah, UAE. I almost said AEW.
Also valid.
So, I mean, there's plenty of us who thought we would never see these matches in these locations. And it's probably showing some more progressive thinking among this society in these regions. So that's good, you know?
That's really good. I'm just hoping for more in the future, more of WWE really doing something and WWE trying to make a difference rather than just patting themselves on the back.
Yeah, you know, they're basically just sucking their own dick at this point, you know?
I mean, if you could, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess I would. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm still hurting from when you gave me the bussy breaker. I'm still like, oh, my neck. So I don't know.
That's not the part that should hurt.
I you know, honestly, I think I'd only suck my own dick if they also granted me the flexibility and that I wouldn't injure myself while doing so. So, because if I wake up every morning with a hurt neck, is it worth it? I think it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's all I got. I have nothing else to talk about on these matches.
no, I'm going to have to edit stuff. It's going to be a short episode. Quick, Joey, just say, "This is hope," over and over and over again, please.
This is hope.
Hope.
This is hope. This is hope.
Hope.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is
Hope.
WWE Abu Dhabi, A New Hope. Well, that about covers it for episode 3, moment 99 of Divas 101, counting down the 101 moments that rocked, shocked, and made WWE Women's Wrestling history. And tune in again next week. Here we go, guys. I'm going to give you another little preview of what to expect next week on Divas 101.
Oh, what a right hand! Look out, the belt just nailed Cherry. Bartlett trying to break it up.
Thank you guys for tuning in again. We will see you again soon. I'm Tommy Purr, the man diva of professional wrestling.
And I've had 2 bottles of wine. I'm Joey Mayberry.
And we thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
My face hurts.
Oh, I know. I was like, can this just be a podcast so I don't have to smile?
And don't forget, guys, you can follow us on social media. To follow Joey Mayberry, find him on TikTok at joey.mayberry. To follow him on Instagram and Twitter, you can find him at joey_mayberry. To follow me, Tommy Purr, simply find me on Twitter at rare_form, RAWR_form. And to follow me on Instagram, find me at the_man_diva. You can also follow me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/officiallyperfect. PURR Fact. And to buy my merch, check out my Store Frontier store at storefrontier.com/merchandise.
New Middle East my ass.